So I've seen a lot of debate recently on social media around video game pricing and how expensive video games have gotten these last couple of years, and if these prices are actually justified for these games. And I kind of want to talk about that today because I have an opinion on that topic as well. And most of the things that I see online are people saying, look, we are not paying like $60 or $80 for a campaign game. It's way too expensive for the amount of hours you get back. And back in the day you also got a lot of video games for $60 and you got also like a 15-hour experience out of it, and that was basically it, and people back then were very happy with it. You can also argue that the quality of those games back in the day were a lot better, but that is like an opinion, and it's not set in stone if that opinion is true. Because I personally think that even video games in these days are still very good. Obviously it's easier to look at older video games with nostalgia and think, these were always better. Now, I personally don't think so. I think some games were better, not all of them. But yeah, it's like a really weird thing these days, because I think the main highlight so far is like GTA 6, because GTA 6 announced pre-orders last month. And they basically said, you can play the GTA 6 single player experience for $80, which is a very good price in my opinion, because GTA is such a large game and you get so many hours out of it. You can play it for years and years. If you just look at GTA 5 and the history, it's safe to say you can play this GTA 6 game for around 10 years, the single player experience at least, and I'm assuming that a multiplayer experience will be coming soon as well. But I personally think they will release that one like a month or two after it, and they announced an Ultimate Edition as well for the single player experience for $100. And I think basically everyone in the community and everyone in the game community itself expected GTA to be more expensive, because it took so long to develop. The budget for the game itself was really expensive, like $2 billion, which is crazy. So I think everyone expected, this game is going to be very expensive, maybe like $150. But I think most people would have still bought the game for that price, and I think it would have been justified for that particular game alone. But one of the scary things about this is that all of the other AAA companies are also going to charge that much for a video game, and we are kind of seeing that already, like a light version of it, because I've already made a video on this last couple of days, but like the sports games like 2K27 and FC27, they're already charging €150 for like a Ultimate Edition Plus. I know you get some added bonuses by these games, but I personally think €150 for these yearly releases are very expensive. I know there is still a standard edition for $80, but kind of the thing that I want to talk about is, when is a video game actually worth the money? Because if you just look at it straight, like a yearly release like FC27 and a release like GTA 6, which basically comes out every 10 years or so, why on earth is a yearly release the same price as a game that's like releasing every 10 years and you get so many more hours out of it? Obviously it depends on the person and how much you're going to play the game itself. But these yearly releases, it's also with like Call of Duty as well. Battlefield is going that direction as well, but like Call of Duty releases every single year for $80, and now you would say with Call of Duty you get like a campaign, a multiplayer and a third mode. With FC27 you obviously get like the online version, offline versions. But still, you gotta pay these prices every single year, or they basically force you to pay these prices every single year, because they basically don't support the older titles anymore, especially with like the FIFA and the EAFC titles, because they just shut down the servers, which basically makes the game useless in itself. You can basically only play Kickoff. And you also have games like, I personally bought Halo recently and Assassin's Creed. These are campaign games exclusively. You basically can only play the campaign, you have no multiplayer, you get just the campaign experience for around 10 to 15 hours, and that's that. It's up to you if you want to play it any further, but I think most people will probably quit playing the game after the first initial finish, and they will probably revisit it in a few years time. But yeah, it's when are these games worth the price? Because these campaign games are also $60. I know these are both remakes, so it's probably the reason why they are less expensive than the $80 versions. But they still release like $80 versions for the Halo and Assassin's Creed, because they also have special editions as well. But I just think it's like a really interesting topic, because I'm personally really happy to pay like $80 for GTA 6, because I think it's just worth the money. I'm 100% certain that it will be worth the money just for the story alone. I expect probably like 50 to 70 hours of story mode alone, with side quests as well. But like paying these 80 bucks for FCs and Call of Duties is just a lot, and the world is moving now towards like a subscription model. Xbox is already doing it basically with Game Pass, so you can access multiple games on that Game Pass for a certain price each month. I think PlayStation is doing it as well, but I think not a lot of people are buying those subscriptions at the moment because they are just very expensive to play, and I think most people will just be rather better off to buy the game outright. But yeah, it's just a really interesting topic, and how on earth do these companies even justify the pricing of these games, and do you actually believe that these video games deserve to be more expensive or less expensive? I know the budgets and the cost of making these games went up a lot the last couple of years, especially when they take so long to make them. I know back in the day they probably took around 2 or 3 years to make a single game, if you were talking about a single player game. I know Call of Duty and like FC or FIFA back in the day, they released every single year, but other main single player games released every 2 or 3 years. And they charged like 60 bucks for it at the time. And nowadays they basically take like 5 to 7 years on average, but it can be even longer. I know personally from like the Last of Us series or the Uncharted series, which I play a ton as well. They take a really long time, man, these days. They take like 5 to 7 or 8 years even, and I can understand why these games get more expensive to make, and we will probably expect that the video game price will go up in the future, because I personally expect that they will probably go up 10 bucks next year, probably 10 bucks the year after, and especially when the PlayStation 6 is coming out, and especially when, you know, the topic about PlayStation just removing physical copies in total, and which is going to give them the complete power of these prices. And yeah, I just personally expect video game price to go up a lot these next couple of years, and I'm not excited about that. I can understand why some studios do it, especially Rockstar Games with like probably Red Dead Redemption and GTA 6, of course, because those are justified, but all of the other AAA companies will just take a look at themselves, and when they will say, you know, yeah, our games are very expensive too, and they take a lot of manpower to make, so we are going to make our games expensive as well, and you're going to pay like 100 euros in the future for like a standard version of like EA FC 28, which is crazy now. And I'm personally not also a fan of the subscription models that are around these days, and I saw recently that you can basically rent an Xbox or a PlayStation already for like 24 months, and you basically get to lease an Xbox or a PlayStation to play on it, and you have to pay a monthly subscription to play online every single time, and you also have to pay a monthly subscription to play the games itself. So you basically will own nothing anymore. It is like a really scary world to look into, and I think these are like the final years we will probably see the 80 bucks version of video games. I think they will go up a lot, and if you just look at the pre-orders in the PlayStation Store at the moment, I think most people will are still buying like the ultimate editions of all these games. They're always the number one most selling versions of the games. So people are already basically paying on 100 euros for these games, and I personally have to say, if you play that game like every single day, or maybe every 3 or 4 times a week, and you play it for hours and hours, and at the end of the year you have like around hundreds of hours in a video game, I think these prices are actually very good, because you get a lot of entertainment for it, like 100 for these 100 euros. And yeah, in that sense it's justified. But if you are just paying a game for like 10 to 15 hours, which most single player games are at the moment, especially with the ones I'm playing right now, like Halo and Assassin's Creed, you basically don't get a lot of hours, and you pay 60 bucks for those. So if you compare to that, it's a very, very expensive game to play, especially compared to like GTA, which you will probably play like 300 or 400 hours of it in the next couple of years. So I'm just really curious about your guys' thoughts on this. It was basically like something that was on my mind. I saw it on X, getting posted on X recently a lot, and just a weird topic as well, because I have to say, for my personal opinion, I find it very hard to actually justify some of these games to buy. I know I want to buy it because I want to play the games and I want to make content on it as well, but it's still very hard to justify because it's getting a lot more expensive these days. So yeah, just let me know your guys' thoughts in the comments down below, and I want to thank you for taking the time to watch the entire video. You are a legend, and I will see you in the next video, probably tomorrow or the day after, we will see. But yeah, thank you, bye bye.